Coming to you from Brick House in downtown Brooklyn, this is 112BK. On the show today, another revelatory book about the man we call our president, reimagining digital media, and a message to love with the Hendrix Project. Hi, and welcome to the show. I'm Ashley Ford, and I'm back. Thanks, Brian Vines, for filling in yesterday while I was under the weather. I heard it was a great show, and I'm so sorry I missed out. But I'm going to jump right in because we've got a packed show today. You've heard about Fire and Fury, but another illuminating and troubling book about our 45th president is just out. An inside story about that venerable institution, Trump U. Yes, there's Fire and Fury, but another eye-opening book about 45's dealings has just been released. It's about Trump University, written by a professor who once worked at the institution, which essentially ceased operations in 2010. Trump U was sued for defrauding its students, who paid thousands for the promise of being just as successful as the Donald. To them, he said, Trump U, but he ended up settling for $25 million. We have with us today Stephen Gilpin, the Brooklyn-based author of Trump U, the inside story of Trump University. Welcome to 112BK.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
So happy to have you here to talk
Thanks.
about this. I think a lot of people are going to be interested. The first thing that I wanted to ask you about was just why did you write the book? Like, at what point did you go, this is something that I have to do?
It was probably when my Aunt Debbie had called me and said that you are a real estate expert and they know that.
Yep.
And they're on CNN News and everyone's saying how much they were crooks and how much, the people were, the speakers, they're all crooks. No one knew anything about real estate.
Right.
And I'm like, that's not true.
Right.
I was the real estate guy. I have proof, evidence that I back. I do real estate for a living.
Right. And the people who were saying that, were they students or were they just the people who were?
They were actually newscasters.
Newscasters.
It was
anchors.
Donald Trump himself and his attorneys actually said, oh, I didn't know that they didn't know anything about real estate. I didn't qualify them. But meanwhile, you have the video up on YouTube saying he personally handpicked everyone.
Yeah, I mean, how does it feel to be personally handpicked by Donald Trump to work
We
for?
weren't personally handpicked.
Yeah, you're like, that's not what happened.
That's not what happened.
He made that up.
But
Okay.
I did have the real estate experience.
Right.
And all. I think some of them were actually accused of they actually flipped hamburgers. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But they had no real estate experience.
Right.
And I was infuriated there was one night in Shiny Armand, which was me, I think.
Right.
And it actually was, I have real estate experience. I've been doing it for 20-some years. I've licensed, I'm credentialed. And so that was one of the things that pushed me to write the story.
Right, was that you wanted the truth.
I wanted the truth out
there. And were you worried? I mean, like, I at that point, like, I wouldn't just be worried about, like, my reputation. It's like, oh, this guy's running for president. Oh, my God, he's winning. Like, I'm really worried.
That was a big shocker.
Yeah, I would think it would be a big shocker.
When he became our 45th, it was a big shocker.
I'm absolutely sure. I mean, I was shocked as well.
I think I took off 2 weeks.
Right, but as someone who, had worked for this university that's under this man's name, I'm sure that there were people who expected you to be supportive.
And I was supportive. I
Right.
actually was an independent, and I switched when he was running to a Republican.
Wow.
And all, but I couldn't get there to vote. I
Right.
didn't. I couldn't do it. I just
Right.
could not do it. I didn't want to, because of he was being the 45th.
Right.
And all, so it was actually scary.
So what's the truth you wanted to reveal with this book?
Well, it was after the subpoenas and everything I went through and testifying and giving my under oath, and I literally thought I was going to be a part of the fall guy of this. And I really wanted my name to be cleared, first off.
Right.
Because everything you Google on Google and stuff like that, you pull up the case, my name's broadcasted all over it.
Right.
There was 28 of us.
Right.
Only one in-house person, but there
Right.
was 28 other salespeople and stuff. And that was one of the things. It's just, I have to get the book out there.
Right.
And I couldn't do anything until the settlement was reached.
Right.
So I had to wait from 2010 to 2013.
Wow.
And then after being drugged through the mud, I felt like.
It's my turn to say what
it's
really,
my turn.
to tell my side of the story.
I wanted to be told, and I said, I'm going to write it. Yeah,
Right.
Absolutely. And that's really what it is. It's my inside story.
So what does it feel like when somebody shows up at your house from like a government agent and says, we need to talk to you about your involvement with Trump University?
Trump University. I'll never forget it. I live at my house in Brooklyn. I just left the office and I was driving. I actually had a driver at the time. I was driving home, parked my car in the garage and walked up, and I saw two police officers outside my building.
Oh.
And I didn't think anything of it. You know, we live in Brooklyn. I didn't really think anything of it. But then I went to the front door of the building, and I noticed this huge letter, a subpoena. And then I went to the front door of my house. I'll never forget that. My neighbor, elderly neighbor, coming out screaming, saying, "Stephen, the police are here. The police are looking for you." And I'm like, "What? Like, what did I do?"
Right.
It was scary. So then I'm looking at it. I went in my house and I'm reading it. I pour myself a whiskey. I actually write about that in the book.
Yeah.
I needed one at that time. And then it was a subpoena. No one gave me any heads up. The organization could have called me. They could have. Someone could have told me about it. And then it was like one subpoena, then two subpoenas, and then three subpoenas. And it was like, you got to be kidding me.
Right.
And then I knew I was involved. And once I got involved, and everyone else, I glued my eye, I kept my mouth shut, I glued my eye to the news.
Right.
And that's really what I started watching. And then I realized, you got to be kidding me.
The narrative that was
all
being
getting
set up.
blamed.
Oh, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
And I was the real estate guy.
Right.
And I was the in-house. There was only one in-house representative.
And it was you.
And it was me.
So what did they want to know from you?
The preparation for the subpoena was unbelievable. I've started my new job after Trump was over. At nighttime, I would leave the office after 8:30 at night, and I'd have to go to the attorney's office, and they would prep you for the questioning.
Wow.
And I think we did this for a couple of weeks, every night, prepping you. You know, no breaks, hitting you with question after question. And it's like, and then it was like, there was a point where I actually didn't even know what reality was, and that's scary. When someone can change your mind and your thought process of what you know and heard is real, and then all of a sudden you're out there and you're like, wow, did that really happen? Did I really have that conversation?
Right.
You know, and then you have to have the evidence of it, and then you're told, you know, you have to say you don't recall because it wasn't your say, you heard it through somebody else, et cetera. And that was one of the things that I really questioned reality. And then it was finally over with, and I was like, wait a minute, no, this did happen.
Right.
You know, and I was like, I have to push the book. I have to write it.
Like, what was it that compelled you? You were like, this moment, this conversation, this interaction, it has to be in this book, because if it's not, nobody's going to believe me. I can't clear my name without it.
Right. Well, that was one of the things, is to clear my name from the whole thing. Is to be compared to the high-pressured salespeople that I can actually say now, looking back, when you go to the seminar business, and it's all seminar business, all these real estate gurus, they do a seminar business. It is a roadshow. It is an upsell. They're selling you into a high-pressured sales.
Right.
They'll do anything at that point in time to get you to sign the bottom line.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right.
And people fall for it. And I'm amazed today that people still fall for it, because there's still gurus out there teaching the same thing. Just Trump happened to be one of the first ones doing it. But that was one of the things, is to be compared to these high-pressured salespeople who did not have real estate experience.
Right.
And it was blatant when you went to the events and the shows.
Right.
It was really blatant.
So are they talking about sales in terms of tuition, in terms of recruitment of students?
Upselling students.
Yeah.
So they would pay, you would go to a free seminar, you would get the golden ticket.
Right.
In the mail.
Yeah.
And we see this today, even today with the gurus. You get the golden ticket. I think it actually has a picture of it in the book.
Yeah.
Of the golden ticket. And it says, you know, from the Donald Trump, and it's a golden ticket to attend our free event to learn the mastery of real estate. Learn it the Donald Trump way, and all. And that was one of the things about it, was you get to that free event, and you think you're going to teach, or they're going to teach you the real estate way, Donald Trump's way. You think you're going to walk away and come out of there being a multimillionaire and investing in real estate.
Right.
That's not going to happen. That's the reality of it. But what the whole purpose of that free event is to upsell you into a larger package.
Right.
And those packages range from anywhere from $9,000 all the way up to $36,000.
Wow.
And they were sales driven. So you had, like, the first day, they'll give you a little bit, a teaser of information about real estate.
What do you get for that? I mean, like, is it
$14.95. They sell you into that next class, that next 3-day workshop. It was $1,495.
And what is that? I mean, but if I sign up for it, it's like, I get the class?
You get the class. You get the class, but on the sales side of it, it depends on what package you signed up for. If you signed up for the coaching and the mentoring, I was a coach and mentor.
Right.
I actually did your sessions. We had 6 sessions, 12 sessions, or if
Right.
you were unhappy and you had problems, you know, and stuff that you couldn't do it on your own, I actually answered the hotline where you called in with your questions and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, it was one of those, it was, you know,
Do you have...
coach and mentor.
This is the question that people are going to
sorry.
ask, absolutely. Like when they find out, you know, when they read the book, when
It's a good book.
and it's good, but like
I cry. I still cry when I read it.
when they read it, when they get a better look at your experience, when they, you know, have, you know, what is hopefully a fuller, more holistic story about what happened at Trump University, one of the things that people are going to want to know, one of the things that I would want to know is, do you feel any personal responsibility, any regret about what ultimately went down? Or do you feel like you were in the dark as well?
No, I definitely was in the dark.
Yeah.
I don't feel regret about it because of my commitment, and a lot of people don't know this. I still help out Trump University students. They can still call me. They can still send me emails. I actually help out in real estate. So my commitment to the student, and I wanted to make sure they had their education.
Right.
They paid for an education. I'll be damned high hell water. They're going to get that education.
Right.
So I don't have that regret because everybody knows that my passion is real estate, and I'll help out anybody in real estate as long as it helps them to get ahead.
Are you worried about any backlash to this book?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Look what's going on right now with the Steve Bannon book. I know.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the backlash that's going on there. You know.
Right.
Mine's based on facts, though.
Yeah, right.
Actual actions and things that happened. I am worried about backlash. I'm worried about what 45 is going to do.
Wow.
I'm really worried about that side of it. But we have a plan.
I mean, there could be some tweets, you know,
there's going to be
at the end of the day.
You know,
so
well, look at that side of it. You know, there's some tweets, though.
Right. People are going to want to read the book.
Absolutely. I want them to.
So when can they get it?
So it's right now through Or Books, on the back of the book. It's Or Books. You can actually go to www.orbooks.com. You can actually go there and purchase it, and you'll have it within 48 hours through the publishing site. February 20th, it goes out through Amazon for all the Amazon Prime users and Barnes & Noble and Walmart. It actually goes out to those Amazon Prime and stuff. You can actually get it February 20th.
Excellent.
I know.
Well, thank you so much for this, Stephen. I really appreciate you being here and
problem.
talking to us about this. A lot of people are going to be interested. So
I hope so. It is the inside story, and it's the truth.
We'll see what happens. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.